My name is Stefan Roots, and this is another episode of C City TV, episode number 9. Seems like we just did episode number 8, and I was thinking not a lot is going on between 8 and 9. I was wrong. So wrong that I had to take some notes. So if you see me looking down like this, it's because my notes are down here this time. Let's get started from Studio 926 with some Chester news. The mayor's annual citywide cleanup. This is the time of the year that the city of Chester teams up with area colleges, brings the kids down here, busloads of them, and they go around to all our neighborhoods or selected neighborhoods and clean up the streets. What's neat about this citywide cleanup is that these kids, many times, it's their first time in Chester. So they take them on a tour of some of the highlights of Chester. It's a great thing. If these kids end up in your neighborhood, number 1, don't get frightened. Number 2, they're just here to clean up. Number 3, if it's hot, give them some Kool-Aid, lemonade, iced tea, something. Get out and help them. They're cleaning up your hood. Now, some people are criticizing the mayor because this is a program I believe got started back in the Butler administration, and they're criticizing him because it wasn't his idea. So what? The city needs to be cleaned. If the kids can come around once a year, let them clean it. The other thing is a lot of colleges require the kids to do community service. So why not have them come down to Chester, do a little community service, get to know us, get to love us, and clean up our hood. Oh, I got notes. Recycling. That's the other trashy news that we have in our city. Now, let's give the new administration credit. They want to start recycling. We're recycling at a clip of about 2% of our trash. We want to bring it up to 20%. Now, my math says we're going to save $78,000 a year. The papers have said anywhere between $90,000 and $100,000. Whatever the case may be, that's no chump change. There's a person in charge of recycling in the city, and I'm sure this $78,000 could help pay their salary and benefits. Now, recycling, like I said, has been around since 2000. We haven't done much with it in the city, but I was right on one thing. The city does not have enough recycle cans if we all went over to City Hall and asked for one. So the city has asked the state to kick in and give us some trash cans, some recycling cans. Now, we've got a state majority leader, Senate Majority Leader, and we have a state rep up in Harrisburg. So it should be no problems getting these trash cans down here. Trash day. Let's talk about trash some more. Well, we're well into the summer now, and we finally got used to this once a week trash pickup. Now, sure, there's been a few more maggots than normal running around in our trash cans, but let's do the math. We've saved $1.5 million by going to once a week trash collection. Let's flip back to recycling. We're going to save $78,000. There's a 19 times difference between 1.5 million and 78,000. So which one has the bigger hit? Once a week trash collection. The recycling thing, $78,000, it's nothing to sneeze at, but $1.5 million is a significant amount of money. So let's get used to the once a week trash collection. Let's do a better job of putting our trash out. Let's look at some examples from these nice neighborhoods, and we can get it done. Alright, let's flip to some crazy news. The Trentonian. I talked about the Trentonian this month. I said that if Chester had its own newspaper, it would be called the Trentonian. I'm a digital subscriber of the Daily Times, and I suggest you do it too. It's cheaper than buying the paper every day. If you're one of the people who look on your cell phone, your smartphone for stuff, or if you got a tablet, or if you're on the computer, it's a great way to read the paper. You don't have to get your hands grimy. You can go back issues. You can print stuff out, email it, put it out on social media. That digital subscription thing is great. The other great thing about it is all the papers that are put out by the same people who publish the Daily Times, you get to see all like 28 or 29 of those papers too. Now personally, I don't have an interest in any of them, but that Trenton paper, it's just like if Chester had its own paper, that would be it. They talk about all the grimy news in that paper, and they got a black columnist. I'm so excited about that. That dude gets it in. He be beating up on everybody. He tells the truth. He tells it like it is. We wish the Daily Times had something like that. But you know, us Chester people, many of us want the Daily Times to bring us more Chester news, but that ain't gonna happen. This is the Delaware County Daily Times. Some people out in the county don't care about what's going on in Chester. So one of these days, when Chester comes out with its own paper, you're gonna learn to support it. All right, what else we got here? Warren Moore. Come on, you guys. Warren Moore done put out a CD. Now, y'all know Peebo. We grew up with Peebo. Peebo done sung for all of us around this city. A couple years ago, he got a break, went out to Vegas, joined a group out there, has been singing at the casinos all around the country. Then he put out his own CD. He's announced it on Facebook, and everybody around here should know about it by now. Silk Gordy is selling it. No comments on the blog. Nobody even typed in there, "Yo, way to go, Warren. You my man. Congratulations." Let's support our own. Don't act like you don't know Warren. Let's jump into the sports. Let's jump into sporting news. One of the highlights of a blog I put out was called "Boxing to Stop Violence." That seems like an ironic statement that you're going to box to stop violence. But the mayor has teamed up with some boxing aficionados around town, and they're trying to get the kids into the sport of boxing. That's a good thing. Any sport is good as far as I'm concerned. But the press release was a little wacky when it talks about using boxing to end violence. That's not going to quite happen. Coach Bo Ryan was in town. Yes, he was. Y'all know Coach Bo Ryan. He coaches the college basketball Wisconsin Badgers, University of Wisconsin Badgers. He's a Chester guy. He's the second winningest coach in college basketball who has participated in 500 or more games. The second winningest. Oh, let's get that right. The second winningest coach. He was a generous contributor to Biddy basketball this summer. He helped supply the shirts. He helped supply the balls. I say help because I don't think anybody else helped. He really did it all. And he promised that he'd come and check out some Biddy this summer. And he was here last week at the Boys and Girls Club here in Chester, the George E. Carter Boys and Girls Club. He talked to some of the parents. He talked to the kids. And he had a long talk with the executive director, Janet Ford Riley. And hopefully it was for some money, because I heard that Boys and Girls Club has been hurting for money for a while. So I know Coach Ryan has raised like $1.9 million for the American Cancer Society. Hopefully he can find a way in his magic to raise some money. Maybe that's what they were talking about for the Boys and Girls Club of Chester. If so, that would be a wonderful thing. Thanks a lot, Coach Ryan, for coming to Chester. It was a pleasure meeting you. Chester Panthers football, you guys know the Chester Panther footballs. These guys are trying to at least get a dent in the city as far as youth sports. Basketball rules around here, but we got some good football players too. I'm going to help with the effort by putting out some papers, by putting them on the blog, by getting a website for these guys this year. And last C-City TV, I asked for help. Paid interns. I'm looking for some interns. I did not get a single phone call. So I don't know how much I'll be able to do by myself, but I'm going to get something done. If you got some high schoolers out there who want to get into journalism, college students, paid internships. Paid. Not a single phone call. Can you believe that? Not one. No, not one. All right, what else we got here? Oh, big news. Tyreke Evans, former NBA Rookie of the Year, right here from Chester. He's leaving that cesspool of NBA basketball, the place where players go to die, the Sacramento Kings. And he got a shot to play in New Orleans this year around some great young talent. So we're looking forward to seeing him down there. I know you'll do well in the Big Easy. You know, Chester people really don't support our players once they leave high school. You know, they're kind of forgotten about. You drive around the country in some hick town, you know, you drive through some town in the mountains or out in the country and you see a big sign that, you know, this guy came from our hometown and he plays for the Baltimore Orioles, yeah. You don't see nothing like that around Chester. It's just not what we do. If you're not in high school, we kind of forget about you. But we're proud of you, Reek. And this was one post that I'm so happy there were no comments on. You'll never hear me say that except for Tyreke, because anytime someone comments on Tyreke Evans, it's always negative. So thank you for the no comments. That was a positive. And what do we have here? School district news. The second most exciting thing that goes on around here is to try to figure out what's going on in the school district. Now remember, they were trying to enroll, was it 300, 400, 500? I don't know how many students they were trying to enroll to save the Main Street School and the Chester School of the Arts. I think that's what it's called, the old Perry building. and they fired people. They fired custodians and teachers and support staff because I guess they didn't think they were going to be able to do it, but woo, they did it. They apparently enrolled 600 students. Now my question is, if the goal was to get students from the charter schools back to the public schools, is that where you got your 600 students? 500 of the 600? 300 of the 600? Any of the 600? We haven't seen any numbers like that. Now some of the comments suggest that a lot of the students are coming in for full day kindergarten, which is a rare thing in public schools now. So if that's where the kids are coming, through kindergarten, ain't nothing wrong with that. We like kindergarten. I went to kindergarten, and I think I went full day. It wasn't a half day thing. So if Chester's doing a full day kindergarten, that's a great thing. All right. The other big news in the school district has to do with this magnet high school that's coming up in Upland. There's a new magnet school. It's planning to be built in Upland, where one charter school will operate it and another charter school will help develop it. Now, if that's not confusing enough, the Daily Times had a quote in there that said, the priority is to create a magnet school in conjunction with the district, but wants the ability to create a joint charter high school with Widener partnership in the event the magnet school does not become a reality. Now, if y'all can understand that, wait a minute, that's got me sweating. If y'all can understand that, then God bless you. Send me a comment, and that would help. This post actually generated 0 comments, so that shows you how much we care to discuss school issues with the Chester City blog. I'm still sweating. Okay, Mayor Linder has teamed up with Google to create free websites for business owners. GYBO, get your business online. And what they're going to do, Google's going to set up with any Chester business that's registered with the city and get you your URL, get you hosting, and help you set up your website for free for a whole year. Now, I might just make up a business to take advantage of that to see how it works. I encourage you existing business owners to take advantage of that. Sounds like a great idea. On Tuesday nights down at the Ethel Waters Park, oldies. Yeah, it's a secret. Well, maybe not a secret, but very few people knew. I didn't know nothing. Nobody sent me nothing. I got a phone call one night, happened to go down there, and it was a pretty good time. Wasn't a lot of people there, but they were jamming. That DJ gets it in. And I understand week by week, by word of mouth, it's become a very popular event. If you would just send me the posting, an audience of about 1,000 people a day would know about it, but for some reason, people don't send stuff to the blog for you guys who like reading the blog for information. But I can't give you information if I don't get information. But I don't know. That's the way things go around here. Oh, the Chester Children Chorus. Were they singing their behinds off at their concert this year? I've never seen them, so this was my first time seeing them. John Austin is doing an incredible job with those kids. He might have taken his ball and ran from the Chester Upland School District and started that charter school out there, but he has not run from the children of Chester. Not only did they do a concert, but they had their dance performance the following week, I think it was. That was outstanding. The variety of dance, the age groups, and the crowd was literally overflowing. They had to put babies in laps in order to make more seating. The place was packed. Beautiful support on a Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Way to go. Now that's supporting the arts. Oh, social media, Chester and their Facebook. Chester loves Facebook. People tell me, well, I'm still sweating. People tell me, hey, how come you didn't see it on my Facebook page and put it on the blog? Because I don't do Facebook like that, that's why. So I was just curious. I know Chester's really into Facebook, and I was counting up all the Facebook groups in Chester. I mean, we've got groups called things from like Real Talk Chester all the way to Dirtiest Girls and Guys in Chester. We got some Facebook groups. Listen, if you're going to send a press release, send a press release. Don't count on me to go on Facebook in the 5 or 10 minutes I spend on there a day and find your little post on something going on in the city. A press release. It's called a press release. It's amazing how people can send stuff to the Daily Times, but don't know how to send things to the Chester blog for the same and for people to see it. I don't get it. But it don't bother me, because it's just a cut and paste for me. If you want to get the word out, send it to me. I don't charge you a thing. We got some supermarket news in the city. Bottom Dollar has broken ground up there on 15th and Edgemont, up there near the Rite Aid. Is that a Rite Aid? Whatever that drugstore is up there, they've broken ground. That's a beautiful thing. It's about a mile away from the other supermarket that most people go to that's in Upland. It's not in Chester, it's in Upland, but we're a food desert. But there will be a supermarket built about a mile away from an existing supermarket. And then Fair and Square from Phil Abundance, they're going to be open before Bottom Dollar opens, because Bottom Dollar has not only have to break ground, they got to dig a hole and build a building. Fair and Square looks to be open in September time frame. They're already taking memberships. That's going to be on 9th and Booth. So chances are we no longer have to get rotten potatoes and onions from our neighborhood stores anymore. We'll actually have supermarkets or some type of market strategically located around the city to do some shopping. Oh, congratulations, State Rep Thaddeus Kirkland, for your 20th annual Across Colors Cultural Fest. Now somehow State Rep Thad Kirkland can get the dollars out of the governor. I don't care if the governor's Republican, I don't care if he's Democrat, Thad's going to get the bucks and throw a party down here in Chester. I wasn't there, but I understand everything went well, and congratulations again, Thad Kirkland. Now, if you want to get a buzz going on in this city, just talk about the cheerleaders, okay? We might not talk about our schools, we might not talk about politics, but about 40 of y'all were commenting back and forth regarding cheerleaders. Well, if we can just build that kind of fervor and passion around other issues, we might be able to get some real things done around here. Fatso's Bakery, they're going up for Delco Times, what is it called? Best of Delco. So if it's not already over, the contest can be found inside your Daily Times newspaper. You fill out the ballot, you send it in, you vote. I think you can vote online as well. Just vote. They've been winning it for the past, how many years? 7, 8, 9 years in a row. Best donut. Somebody sent in a crazy comment that said that Fatso's donuts are too sweet. Now this is the person who probably buys their donuts sour or stale, or the ones that are cooked off premise and only taste good when you dunk them with coffee or tea. Donuts are too sweet. I'm going to leave that alone. And I'm going to end it on that. The last thing I have to tell you about is the class of 1978. Chester High School class of 1978. My class. We're having our class reunion this September 7th. Now, we're getting old, we're forgetful, so you just heard it. So what you're going to do is grab your pen right now and write down this number, 484-358-8522. And you're going to call that number and buy yourself a ticket or two and come on out and enjoy our class reunion this year. It's going to be fun out there in Booth Wynn, like we do. Going to be good to see each other. 35 years. Some have come, some have gone, some are successful, some are not. But we're going to celebrate 35 years of being out of Chester High School. What an accomplishment. Well, that's it. That's it. I'll probably throw something on the back end here. I don't know what it's going to be yet. But thanks for joining the C City TV. Once again, I tried to keep it short, but I'm just rambling along because a lot of stuff goes on in our town that we need to know about.